Welcome to my channel, The Learning Destinations, and today I am back with the very interesting topic, and that is going to be based on AWS Load Balancer and Auto Scaling. So basically, in these sessions, we are going to cover practically how we can create the load balancer and the auto scaling. So now let's first understand why do we need load balancer and why we need to do auto scaling. So as we know that when the system is heavy loaded, when the load is getting increased on the system, we need to scale our system and we need some system which can distribute the load between different resources. When I say resources, it means virtual machines. So in order to achieve the same thing, we need to set up some system which is smart enough, which is capable enough to think itself, okay, now load is getting increased and now I should expand my area. And that's how the load balancers and the auto scaling comes in the picture. So basically the load balancer, which by the name itself, it is an explanatory like load balancer. It means that balancing the load. It means it is routing the request on different machines. Auto scaling, it means some system which scale itself, which scaling can be done automatically. So now we are going to see the practical sessions of the AWS load balancer and the auto scaling. So proceeding to the practical sessions, let's understand that how many types of load balancer exist in AWS. So when you log in inside the AWS, so basically AWS provides four types of load balancer: application load balancer, network load balancer, classic load balancers, which is I guess no more in use, and AWS has already removed it from the portal. And the fourth one is gateway load balancer, which is the new, and you can see inside the AWS cloud EC2 dashboard the moment when you create the load balancers. We are going to see that particular options. Now, in order to understand that how these load balancers are classified, we need to understand the model of OSI model layer. So basically, as we know that the OSI model, the Open System Interconnection model, is a conceptual model that characterizes and standardizes the communications functions of a telecommunications. Right, so you can see on my screen there are different layer like physical layer, data link layer, network layer, transport layer, session layer, presentations and applications. And basically the AWS load balancers is being classified based on these 7 layers. So when we talk about the applications load balancer, so basically applications load balancer falls under the category of 7th layer of OSI model, and it basically makes routing decision at the application layer, HTTP and HTTPS. In the same way, when we talk about the network load balancer, it basically works under the 4th layer of OSI model, and network load balancer routing decision at the transport layer, TCP SSL. In the same way, the classic load balancers is basically works on the both basis. One is the application layer and second is the transport layer. However, classic load balancer currently require a fixed relationship between the load balancer port and the container instance port, and that is the reason that we are using applications load balancers over classic load balancers, and now it is decommissioned, it is no more in use. The fourth one is gateway load balancer, which is works on the 3rd layer of OSI model. And gateway load balancer allow you to deploy, scale and manage virtual appliances such as firewall, intrusion detections and prevention system, and deep packet inspection system. So this is all about the classifications, the justifications, then on what basis we are classified the load balancer inside the AWS cloud. Now we are going to see that the practical sessions how we can create the AWS load balancers and auto scaling. So now let's start with the practical sessions. In order to create the load balancers and the target group and the auto scaling, you need to come up under the EC2 services that you can search it from here, and you need to come under the EC2. Then on the left hand side menu, you scroll down and select the load balancing part. Before creating the load balancer, you need to create the target group first. So let's create target group, and I say name is DevOps. DevOps LB. Here you can select the port number. VPC, if you have any dedicated VPC, you can select here. Here also you can switch the version of the protocol version, and route path I am keeping as the root. Next. Now create target group. So my target group is ready now. Let's create the load balancer quickly. Create load balancer. And as earlier I explained the classifications of different load balancer, and as I mentioned earlier that nowadays there is no facility to create the load balancer, which is not being provided by the AWS, so we cannot see here. Now we are going to create the application load balancer. We can give it name DevOps. Here is the facility. You can switch between the internet facing. If something you are using internally, you can select here. I am just keeping it as internet facing. Then here you can switch the VPC if you have any dedicated VPC. As of now, I just keeping as a default VPC. And at least minimum 2 subnet group is needed. Why 2 subnet group are needed? Because let's suppose that if one is not working, if one zone is not working, then you will have facility and you can access your load balancers through the different zone. Then HTTP port, here you can add the more listener. I'm just keeping as the 80 and saying create load balancer, but before that we need to select the target group which we have created earlier. So now our load balancer is ready. Now we are going to see that how we can create the auto scaling. So here is the option of auto scaling group. Create auto scaling. Here you can give the name of auto scaling. I say DevOps auto scale template. So we don't have template. So firstly, let's launch the template here. So template is basically your instance, right? So where you are going to host your resources. So I say template name is DevOps, and AMI we can choose here. Let's suppose that I am going to host my resources on Ubuntu system. Then if you have key pair, you can select here the Jenkins key pair, which I have already created. And I'm going to keep as a virtual private cloud. Here, this is the facility. You can select here the security group. So one of the security group which I have created earlier, I'm keeping this particular launching template in the same security group. Then create launch template. So template has been successfully created. Now we will get the option here. Let me refresh it. So auto scaling group, DevOps auto scale, then launching template DevOps, and then next. Here you can select the availability zone. I recommend to at least select 2 availability zone, and that's how that you can manage your fault tolerance wisely. The more numbers of availability zone, it means that the more secure your infra will be more secure. Then here you can put like the bar. It means that the minimum and the maximum CPU value. So you can say that if it is the minimum, if it is, let's suppose that there is a value of 30%, right? So somehow if the CPU utilizations goes below the 30%, then your additional EC2 instance which will spin up, that will decrease by one EC2 instance. It means that, let's suppose that the moment when your CPU utilizations went to 60% and when the load is getting decreased and coming nearby 30 or below the 30, then the additionally added one EC2 instance will be decreased. It will be terminated, and then again it will return into the previous step. That's what its meaning is here. Then for memory also you can balance like that. However, I'm not going to select any value here. I'm just keeping no minimum, no maximum. It totally depends on you how you want to handle it here. Then say next. And here, since we are already using one load balancer, so we can select the load balancer here. And this is particular the value that if your one if one instance is decreasing or one EC2 instance is getting added, in between what should be the time. So I'm keeping like 30 seconds. So if CPU load goes to more than 50%, right, as I explained in the previous statement. So if CPU utilization goes more than the 50%, then one instance will be added, and the time between your first instance terminated and your second instance will be initiated. In between, the time will be 30 seconds. This is the desired capacity, particular that how many at least the EC2 instance you want to keep running. So I say one, I say desired capacity 1. Minimum at least one EC2 instance should be running. Maximum I say 2, and it depends on you, on your requirement. You can scale up to whatever is your requirement. Then next. So okay, so here you can add notification as well if you have created the SNS topic. So basically I have created one notifications topic here, and there is a facility to trigger. Let me show you one more thing. Add notifications. Okay. So why I'm adding this notification? I think it's a good practice, because whenever you make any changes here, or if any changes is being made in this auto scaling group, the notifications will be triggered in this particular topic. So if you are aware about the SNS topic, how we can create the SNS topic, that is much good. If not, write me in the comment sections and I will cover it in next tutorial. Then create auto scaling group. So finally, we have created our auto scaling group. Now, how you can make the entry of your load balancer, so the resources, all the like request comes to your this particular requested. Although you can access this load balancer with the DNS name here. This is the particular the DNS name. You can access it. However, if you have some separate domain name, if you have your own domain name, then you can make the entry under the Route 53 here. As of now, I don't have any DNS management console created, but basically when you take this DNS name, you can make the entry inside the DNS management name as a record. So you can make here the record entry after creating the hosted zone, and make entry here as a record of your load balancers. So your someone, let's suppose that your website is xyz.com. So right, so someone when put request to xyz.com, the request will be routing to this load balancer, and ultimately it serves in this auto scaling group EC2 instances. And if I go in this instances, you can see these instances particular belonging to that particular auto scaling group. So if I create this EC2 instance, if I delete this EC2 instance, right, the next EC2 instance will be spin up within 13 seconds, which if you remember, like in earlier when I was creating the auto scaling group, at that times I explained, and there is a point where I put the value of 30 seconds. So that means that I terminated this EC2 instance. The next instance will be spin up within 13 seconds. So let's see, wait for 30 seconds. We should have one more EC2 instance should be spin up. I pause the video and then I will return when it will be spin up. So exactly after the 30 second, the next EC2 instance has been spin up here, and you can see this is the EC2 instance, and this was the EC2 instance which we have terminated, and after that this is the EC2 instance which has spin up using the help of auto scaling, because we have set the auto scaling. That's how that it's been spin up. So now let's recollect everything what we have done. So firstly, we have seen that that how many types of load balancer exist in AWS cloud and in what basis it is classified. Then we have seen that how we can create the load balancers, and before the load balancers, how we can create the target group. After that, we came here in auto scaling group, and under the auto scaling group we have launched our launching template, and after that we have created auto scaling group. Then I have also shown you that how we can make the DNS entry of the load balancer inside the Route 53 job. So that's all for this tutorial, guys. I hope you enjoyed these sessions. If you have any queries and feedback, you can write me in the comment sections, and you want me to cover any specific topic, just let me know, write in the comment sections, and I will cover it in my next tutorial. So till the time, thank you so much, and if you like this video, then please share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe my channel, and I will see you next week with some more important and interesting topic. Till that time, thank you so much for watching this.